Okay, folks, this will be an interesting one. This one talks about, I use it as a comparison for my life. Let's see how we go with it. If it's going to come up a treat or a piece of shit. Let's see how we go with it. It's getting hot now, folks. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have here a crushed empty packet of cigarettes. I don't smoke, folks. I found this on the street. This is just a load of shit that I like to typically pick up off the street and use in my demos. So yeah, I do use them a lot in my demos, and the cigarette packet represents something. It represents my feeling about Christmas, is that loneliness is indeed a common feature of Christmases for a lot of people, including myself. And chronic loneliness is like smoking the equivalent of 15 cigarettes a day. So that's a comparison. I don't know how many cigarettes are in that packet. I don't think there is such a thing as 15 cigarette packets, but that's how much you smoke. You're apparently smoking each day. And I didn't put it on the right way. That's what you're smoking, the equivalent of that when you're chronically lonely. And it's destructive. It's a very chronic loneliness is extremely destructive, folks. You know, it destroys your feelings. It destroys your happiness. It takes away everything good in life, and you just can't seem to manage to kill it. It just wants to kill you. It's a killer. You know, loneliness is a killer. Make no mistake, folks. I'm going to enlarge this further on the horizontal and the vertical, but basically, yeah. Cigarettes, I never chose to smoke them as a teenager. I never choose to smoke them now, but I feel like I might as well be fucking puffing on those shitty things because I'm lonely, and loneliness causes the health effects of having a cigarette habit. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be able to fit that on the page like I'd like to. I've got to watch out how much of this blue colour I use on this photocopier, because we're nearly on the last, we just dropped down to the last bars like the other colours. So I'm going to just get rid of this. I'm going to use this as my movement piece. But yeah, really, smoking is a killer, folks. It's a killer. No, not just, I mean, what I was meant to say, loneliness is a killer, like smoking. So, you know, it's worse than obesity as well. So, I feel really lonely in this life without my partner, Luigi. I'm trying to get in touch with him through the 6 o'clock news on Channel 9. And I just want to remind Channel 9 that this is like I'm smoking and I don't want to smoke. I never chose to smoke when I was at school. Kids at school tried to get me to smoke. Say, oh, come on, have a drag. It's like, fuck off, I don't want a fucking drag, you sluts. And they never liked, they were teasers and bullies too. And they wanted me to try and fit in with them. And they didn't even care about me as a person. So they fucking shows how stupid, that nasty they were. And I never took a fucking drag in the end. Never wasn't interested. I knew the dangers, enough to not want to smoke. And I couldn't afford it. Mum and Dad would have hit the roof. And I wouldn't have been able to afford this habit. It would have been too expensive for a person like myself who didn't have a job or anything at the time when I was at school. I don't know if I'm going to cut it off there or I'm going to do another one. But yeah, I wasn't going to fucking smoke. I wasn't stupid enough like the idiots at school that tried to get me into it. I could think for myself at least, not fucking follow the crowd. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. Yeah, I wasn't stupid enough to smoke, even though, the smoking could have potentially meant for me that I could have been popular for the first time. I could have thought to myself, I could avoid the teasing and the bullying. I could have all this and that, and I could be someone else, be somebody and not feel so unaccepted. And I didn't. I wasn't stupid enough to kowtow to that shit. I wasn't that dumb. I would have been stupid if I did. Wasn't me. I wasn't interested in smoking. And my parents would have hit the roof. They would have been really angry. So, and that's come up looking a treat actually. I think we can utilise that. So yeah, I wasn't willing to make my life more complicated and difficult just to impress the crowd. No, I want to fucking be a crowd pleaser. The crowd can go fuck itself. Yeah, you fucking idiots from Killarney Heights High School between 1985 and 1989, you and your fucking peer group pressure, go fuck yourselves. And you bullied me to fucking pieces, you fucking idiots! Sucked in, I never smoked, you fucking tards. Go fuck yourselves, you sluts. You are fucking stupids. You are the stupid ones. Stupid fuckwits. But they did fuck my life up further though. In other ways, they made me make the wrong decision in life. I missed out on marrying someone as young as 19 because these bitches made me feel bad about myself. I call these people the schoolies. And another group of people who ought to hang their heads in shame are people from my church and my fellowship group. They ought to hang their head. They call them the churchies. And these two groups of people fucked up my life. They fucked me up. Even though I made the right decision not to smoke in high school, I made the wrong decision not to chase after Luigi back in 1992. So I'm really angry at myself that I didn't take opportunities that I had. And these bitches from school and these bitches from church, and church doesn't like me anyway. The church culture is really bad. They like to water things down at church. Christmas is meant to be for everyone. It's not meant to be just for those people who fit into the norms of church. And I'm a toner head, and toner heads are not typically accepted at church. We get accused of being too obsessed with our photocopiers, But the thing is, we have to be, because we have to redesign the bloody thing. I want to redesign the photocopier, folks. I want to do something big with it, and I can't do it unless I'm focused on it. I can't do it very well unless I focus on it. And I do get the feeling that church music is really insipid and watered down. And you're meant to have passion. Sure, you've got to put God first, Yes, I know that. I'm not stupid. But that doesn't mean you have to be watered down in all the other areas of your life. That you have to. Like when you're making music, you got to be passionate. What if Johann Sebastian Bach took that la-di-da attitude towards making his music? He wouldn't have made the great, I think it was called the Brandenburg Concerto. Not that I'm an expert on music, but I've got the Switched on Bach album, and basically it's classical music done with a synthesizer, and it was using orchestral music. And I have an album called Switched on Bach, and Bach's music wouldn't have been passionate, wouldn't have been any good if it wasn't passionate, right? If he wrote some pretty complicated music, he would have had to solve a lot of problems and shit, and you can't do that. So my desire is to redesign the photocopier to improve workplace, to improve the environment, to have a lot of money to give to charity and to environmental and humanitarian and scientific causes, to make the world a better place, basically. And I can't do that if I'm not passionate. When you're talking a photocopier, we're talking physics 101 in a box. It's extremely complicated. You have to be very switched on to it to be able to have the stamina to go hard enough and far enough so you don't give up. And if you're not passionate about it, you're going to give up, and it's just going to be a wasted effort then. So fuck this stupid culture of church. Fuck it. Stupid. Yeah, stupid. Enough of that. Let's see how we go with this. And yeah, Johann Sebastian Bach was a Christian. There you go, folks, if I remember correctly. And that's come up looking quite a treat. I think I can now call this demo quits.